Hi there guys, hope everyone's keeping well. Today we are having a look at Warhammer Quest, but this isn't the box game. This is actually the Warhammer Quest that I've started to make myself because Warhammer Quest was a game that I had originally. I brought it not too long after it came out. I think it was about 96. I picked up excuse me, my copy of Warhammer Quest. And brilliant game, absolutely loved it. Loads of miniatures, fantastic content like the dungeon tiles and that, and great game. But unfortunately, I had to sell it a long time ago, and it's a game that I've been looking to get back into my collection again. But because it is so expensive, I mean, I've seen copies of it on eBay going for, it's ridiculous, over £300, £400, and some of those aren't even complete copies. So I've sort of had this idea from watching another YouTuber video to make my own. And I was watching the video I was watching, the YouTuber I was watching was Kevin of the Battling Barrow. He does a lot of Warhammer fantasy and what else did he do? Middle Earth, sort of Lord of the Rings, battle games, battle reports. He does some really good videos, and he made his own Warhammer quests, just like I have. I got the ideas from him because he had some really good ideas for making the boards, like the dungeon tiles, making the cards, making all the counters and the character sheets and whatnot, and getting the miniatures together, what sort of alternatives to use if you can't get hold of the original minis. So yeah, if you can get over and watch the Battling Barrow and watch Kevin, some of his videos, they're really good. You'll get some really good ideas. So the reason I'm showing you the roleplay book is this is the first thing I picked up to sort of start getting my Warhammer Quest going. But I picked this up quite a few years ago. I had it one Christmas, probably about 6-7 years ago, because the roleplay book was one of my favourite components of Warhammer Quest. I used to love flicking through this, reading all the content. I mean, look, start off with that fantastic map of the old world. I mean, that's brilliant. Love looking at the old maps. Like Bretonia, the Forest of Lauren, the Empire. All the way down into the Badlands. I mean, that's a brilliant map. But yeah, just sort of reading through. Used to spend quite a lot of time reading this, like the travelling between adventures, sort of different hazards and events that would happen while you were travelling. This was it sort of brought more of an aspect to Warhammer Quest rather than just getting the boards out, playing the game, putting it all away again, and then you play it again a few days later or a week later and have to start from scratch. So this really let you give some sort of depth and more sort of life to your characters, your adventurers, give them more of a story. I mean, I used to love visiting the town, looking at all the equipment tables, the armourers, the Fletchers, the weaponsmith. We've got the general store here. But yeah, I used to love going through this. And also, if we flick through a little bit quicker and further in, you've got the monster, the bestiary, sorry. So I mean, all these different monsters. So you didn't just have to stick to the monsters that came in the main game, like the orcs, goblins, skaven, minotaurs, giant bats, and that sort of thing. You could really pretty much put any monster you wanted into the game So yeah, I mean, this, like I said, I used to spend a lot of time reading this book. So this was, I mean, there's a nice picture there. Little scenario going on. It's fantastic, looking at all these old pictures. And the old Games Workshop and Citadel miniatures. So yeah, that was the first item I picked up. And underneath that, I picked up a copy of the rule book. I picked this up for about £5–6, I think, on eBay. Managed to pick this up. Again, love looking at all the old Games Workshop artwork. And the good thing about having the rule book was I could sort of go through all the content and make sure I have everything that I need to start making my own game. So it's got a list of all the content, how many boards, how many dungeon tiles there were, different cards, counters, all the little counters for like power counters and like the portcullis and different markers for traps. Yeah, so yeah, there we go, there's the contents all there. So I know exactly what I have or what I need to make or try and acquire. So that's the rule book. I don't have the adventure book yet. That's something I'm still on the lookout for. I would like to get the original copy, but I know I can go online and download it off the internet if I do want to go along that route. But going back to the Battle in Barrow and watching Kevin on his YouTube channel, he made his own dungeon tiles, which I thought was a brilliant idea, so I tried it myself. So it's just a little bit of 3mm board card, and then I've printed these off the internet. So you've got one of the dungeon rooms there, and then just a bit of adhesive spray it on, stick it over, just smooth around the edges, just to sort of smooth it over. So these are all the little smaller dungeon rooms. I mean, they're quite nice quality. They're not as shiny as the originals, but they're still really good quality. You can still see all the detail on the boards themselves. So that's the 6 dungeon rooms. And I've only got one of the objective rooms. I think it's the crypt, this one, because I've run out of the card, so I need to order some more and finish off printing the last 4 rooms. I've also got the stairwell, which I've actually spilt something on, so I might print off another stairwell and stick that on over that one, because that doesn't look great, that. Then we got the corridors. There were 7 corridors, different colours, some grey, another grey one, and then we had some orange corridors. So that's all those. And then we had the corner section. Only one of those in the game, which always baffled me. I don't know why they only ever did 1 copy. And then 3 of the T-junctions. They're all the same one. So yeah, so that's all the dungeon tiles that I've made them myself, printed them off the internet, then got the cards, bit of adhesive spray, cut round them, trying to make sure they're all the same size. I haven't done a bad job. Like I said, they're a really good alternative, because looking on the internet, trying to buy the dungeon tiles will cost you quite a bit, I'm afraid. Next was the character sheets, character cards. Again, bit of cards. Copied these off the internet. Not bad quality. So I've got the barbarian, got the elf, got the wizards, and the dwarf. And I think the dwarf, I've actually stuck his sort of little bit of backstory, what the story telling you about the dwarf. I've stuck that one on, but I've still got the wizard, the elf, and the barbarian. I've still got to stick theirs on. I've got them in a little folder somewhere. I need to cut them out and stick them on. Then I've got their little starting equipment, so the lantern, the rope, the Hand of Death scroll, and the healing potion. Same again, cardboard. Just cut all those out and suck them on. And I've got their little counters. Made them as well. So you've got the 4 main characters there, their little counters. They've come out really nice. Made them. Now at the moment, that is everything that I have made myself. I was going to start making my own copies of the different decks of cards. But first, I managed to find the original event cards for quite a reasonable price. So I picked these up. So you've got all the different events. And then we move on to the monsters. Yeah, I managed to all the events up. Yep. So yeah, I picked the full set of event cards up. Managed to pick those up, and then I did start to make my own treasure and dungeon cards, but they just didn't seem to come out as I wanted them. And I was just looking through eBay one day, and I managed to find someone selling the dungeon cards. And I think it was buy it now. So yeah, I paid for it at a really reasonable price. Wasn't too expensive. So I bought those, waited a few days for them to come in the post. But unfortunately, the seller must have gotten mixed up with the items they were packing up, because he sent me the treasure deck, the treasure card, which is all complete. All the treasure cards are here. All of them are here. And obviously I didn't have the treasure cards, but obviously the dungeon cards were the ones I'd ordered. So I messaged him and said, "Oh, I think you've made a mistake. You sent me the treasure cards." And he messaged me back straight away and said, "Oh, I'm ever so sorry." He apologised and said, I'll get them in the post to you that day. And then he said, if he sends a addressed envelope in with the dungeon cards, I'll post the treasure cards back to him, and that's all that. So I said, yeah, no problem. And then I thought about it, and I thought, well, I need the treasure deck. And I thought, as I now have them in my possession, why it would make more sense just to keep hold of them rather than sending them back. So I messaged him and I said, would you mind if I made you an offer, and then I can keep the treasure ones, and then obviously I've already paid for the dungeon ones, they arrive in the post. And he said, yeah, no problem. So I made him an offer, and so I kept the treasure cards, and then a couple of days later the dungeon cards turned up, which I was really pleased about, because it is very difficult to actually find the dungeon cards online. So now I have the 3 sets of cards, the event cards, treasure cards, and the dungeon cards, all complete, and a really nice condition as well. None of the cards are damaged. So the only other deck I'm looking for the original game is the wizard spell cards, which I am on the lookout for. I probably will, if I can get them for quite a decent price, I probably will pick them up on eBay. But if not, I'll print those off, because those are quite easy to find on the internet. I print them off and use them in the game. And I already have the Wizard's Power tokens. I have them on a sheet of paper. I just need to get some more card and stick them on, then cut them out. So I've got the little Wizard's Power tokens to go on the power store for his card. So that is all the components at the moment I have for Warhammer Quest in regard to like the card pieces and like the card sets and rule books. And now we move on to the miniatures. Now, again, it's mainly eBay at the moment for me, having to sort of keep a lookout, trying to find stuff. And the first thing I found was this box set of orcs. It's all complete, really nice condition. Really love these old boxes. I used to have quite a lot of these back in the day. The Warhammer boxes are different sort of regiments, like the Halberdiers, the High Elf Spearmen and Archers, and the Bretonnian Knights, and I can't remember what else I had. I think I had some skeletons as well. But yeah, so I've picked these up. So I've got, there he is, look at that. So yeah, so I've got 5 archers, 5 orc warriors. So I know there was 6 of each in the game, but when I'm playing, if I roll 1d6 orc warriors and 6 comes up, I just have to put 5 on the board for now until I can pick up a spare one of each one. But yeah, so I picked the orcs up, and then not too long after that, I found these goblins. I think I picked these up for about a tenner. Doesn't contain the Goblin Fanatic, unfortunately, but I've got the 5 Goblin Spearmen and the 5 Night Goblin Archers. Got those. Really pleased about that. And then the last one I found was the Skaven. Got 10 Skaven here, so if I do roll 2d6 Skaven and I get 12, I can only put 10 on, but that's no problem at the moment. So yeah. And these had already been undercoat. So if I do ever sort of feel a bit brave and decide to give them a try painting them, they're already undercoated, so that's nice. And it still comes with a little leaflet, which is nice. So I picked those up, and then that's it at the moment for the monsters. I mean, obviously I still need to get my spiders, giant bats, giant rats, snotlings, and I do own the 3rd edition talisman, so I have the Minotaur from that. So if I do draw the Minotaur card, I can use 1 Minotaur at the moment, but I still need to pick up 2 more at some point. If I can actually get the originals, that would be nice. But I do have 1 from talisman I can use. And then that sort of brings me on to the adventurers. Because I have a copy of talisman, I was going to use, so we've got the barbarian, the dwarf, the elf, and the wizards from 3rd edition talisman, which are fantastic figures, so they would look really good on the Warhammer Quest board. But I actually came in the post yesterday. I found them, picked them up last week, a little bundle of it was Advanced Hero Quest and Warhammer Quest models. I've picked up the original barbarian, I mean, it's not the best paint job in the world, but I can live with that at the moment, because I'm not a fantastic painter myself, so I couldn't probably do much better than what this person's done. So there's the barbarian, and this is the elf. Now I probably will have a go at stripping the elf down, because it's got this sort of horrible orangey colour over it. You can see there. I'll get it in the light a bit more if it focuses. Yeah. So I'm going to try and strip that off and clean that up. And then if you notice at the back, I have the wizard. He's been painted to an okay standard as well. But you might notice about his staff. When I brought this, the top of the staff was broken off. So last night I was having a bit of a sort of mess about. I had a cocktail stick and a little pack of beads that I've got in one of my craft drawers, and I just made him a little sort of tip of his staff there. It's not the same staff that he had originally, obviously, but I think it looks good enough, and I can paint it to match the rest of the staff. So yeah, so I've got those three. Still need to find the original dwarf character for Warhammer Quest, but I can easily for now use the talisman dwarf, or I do have some other dwarfs in my little game room that I can use one of those if need be. So yeah, I mean that's it at the moment for making my own Warhammer Quest, or acquiring stuff to try and make my own Warhammer Quest game. Some of it's homemade, like all this stuff right in front of you, and then other bits that I've brought, like those bits there. But yes, so when I get time to sort of acquire some more bits or finish making the boards and more cards and tiles, I'll keep you guys updated and show you some more of my progress. But thank you for watching the video. I hope everyone staying safe out there, and I'll speak to you all soon. Take care. Bye bye.